everyone, I am Rowena Gregorio and you are watching Eagle News International, Switzerland edition. These are interesting times. In today's headlines, France paid tribute to 130 people killed in Bataclan 2 years ago. Lufthansa's ample resources plans to expand business more European airlines deals. Main political parties for Italy's upcoming election focuses on the economic plans to boost the economic welfare of its people. In lifestyle, learning about the interesting Swiss national dish, cheese fondue. Our correspondent Christina Smawang will get us around the capital city of Finland, Helsinki, a fascinating cave tour in Portugal. In sport and technology, the Italian national team will not join the 2018 World Cup. Volkswagen scandal receives another probe from German authorities. France Prime Minister Emmanuel Macron and Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo led their tribute to the Bataclan victims on the second year of the tragedy. More details from our correspondent, Evi Ordinario.
Emmanuel Macron, the French president, paid tribute on Monday to 130 people who have been killed at the Bataclan concert hall exactly 2 years ago. Macron and Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo observed silence during the ceremony and listened to the names of the fallen. Islamist State group took responsibility of the attack as 3 gunmen stormed the concert hall and opened fire on the crowd, and more than 350 people were wounded. In the past 3 years, many people have been killed in similar attacks in Europe, mainly in Belgium, London, and also in Spain. Since these terror attacks, France is still on alert against militant Islamists. Police and intelligence services are working around the clock against further attacks.
Lufthansa says that it has enough financial buffer to take part in future consolidation of Europe's airlines. Let's get more updates from Frida Ordinario.
Lufthansa, Germany's main airline carrier, claims to be financially robust to play a role in consolidating Europe's airlines. Ulrich Svensson, chief financial officer of the Lufthansa Group, said, "We have a certain financial cushion. After the cash out for investments for Air Berlin and setting aside money into its pension fund, there will still be 3 billion euros left." Just last month, for 210 million euros, Lufthansa bought large parts of insolvent Air Berlin as part of its Eurowings budget airline business. With this acquisition, Eurowings, also part of the Lufthansa Group, bought its closest rival. By the end of this year, Svensson predicts Eurowings to be operationally profitable. A split up of Eurowings would not be a wise move, and Lufthansa still had big plans for the business model. As for Italian's flagship carrier Alitalia, Lufthansa also placed a bid, which is not 500 million euros as reported. Svensson said that it was hard to tell how the offer was taken and recommends to business analysts not to include Alitalia in their business models.
In May 2018, Italy is set to vote for the next Prime Minister. Former Prime Minister Matteo Renzi and leader of the ruling Democratic Party says he will cut down taxes by 50 million euros by increasing the budget deficit. While 4-time Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi and center-right leader would bring back the Italian lira for domestic use and keep the euro currency for international trade. He hopes that this will encourage consumer spending and economic growth. But comparing the main parties' economic plans, it is difficult to say who deserves to win. Luca Ricolfi, a sociology professor at Turin University and prominent political commentator, claims that politicians feel free to make empty promises. The Italian economy has been growing since 2010, but politicians would rather use the surplus to cut taxes while spending more instead of paying their debt, which is one of the highest in the Eurozone right after Greece.
I'm Yvonne Tomas and welcome to our lifestyle segment. Today, I'll be bringing you stories from continental Europe. Here are our today's topics. Let's start in Zurich, Switzerland to learn more about one of Switzerland's national dish, and then head to Finland to experience its capital Helsinki, and end our journey in the south of Europe to discover the beauty of the Algarve coast in Portugal. As many of you may already know, Switzerland is known for delicious cheese and the different ways of how it can be prepared. Today, Kathleen Fanner will show you one of the popular ways of eating cheese in Switzerland.
Grüezi miteinander. It's getting cold here in Europe. For Switzerland, it is the time to eat their national dish, the cheese fondue. The dish was named after the French word fondue, which means melted, and originates from the Western Alps of Switzerland. Fondue became the national dish when it was recorded in the Swiss Army cookbook in the 1950s. The main ingredients are different kinds of cheese, cornstarch, garlic, grinded pepper, and for the alcohol-free version, you can add apple juice. What's also important is the equipment. The traditional way is to use a so-called kakelon. It is a small pot made specially for fondue, which is then placed on top of a small burner to keep the cheese melted. Fondue is eaten by dipping bread into the cheese with a fondue fork. French baguette is one of the favorite breads to dip into the cheese. Swiss people pair the fondue with other dishes like pearl onions, pickles, olives, corn, or dried meat. One of the great things about eating fondue is that you never eat fondue alone. If you love cheese, then this will melt your heart away. I'm Kathleen Fanner. I'm 1 with 25.
So, grab a fondue pot and some friends to enjoy this delicious treat. Thanks, Kathleen. Now, let's stay in Europe where our journey continues in Finland. It is known for long and cold winter months, warm saunas, and the beauty of nature. Today, we will take you to the capital of this beautiful country. Here's Christina Sumawang with the story.
Hi, this is Christina, and this time I am on my way to Helsinki, Finland. Finland is a country in the northern Europe. Come, join me and let's explore this beautiful city.
Finland is bordered by the countries of Norway, Sweden, Russia, and also by the Baltic Sea in the south. Finland's southern capital city is Helsinki, which has been since 1812. Helsinki is also the largest city of the country. You can get around the city by bus, tram, or take the northernmost subway in the world, the Helsinki Metro. Just do not forget to buy day tickets that works for all the transportations in the city and allows you to have a less expensive trip too. Because of the city's great designs, it attracted design lovers all over the world, and Helsinki was voted as the World Design Capital for 2012 by the International Council of Societies of Industrial Design. Even though Helsinki is the most populated area in the country, Helsinki is considered as a city of greenery. That is because you can never be far from a park here. Helsinki is also close to the sea and is surrounded by nature. A third of the city consists of parks and other green areas. And if you opt for a closer look at nature sightseeing, Helsinki's city bikes are all over the city. Rent one and do not be shy to ring the bell as you explore this beautiful city.
Helsinki is a city with long cold months and the temperature can drop up to -20 in winter. But a visit in a city with fresh air and warm saunas is a worthy trip. Just like what the Finns say, there's no such thing as bad weather, it's just a matter of proper clothing. This is Christina Sumawang and I'm always one with 25. From the cold and freezing weather, let us travel to the south of Europe where not only the weather is nice and warm, there is more to discover. Here is Jay Tomas showing you the natural wonders of the Algarve coast in Portugal.
Hi guys, we're in Algarve, Portugal. We're taking you to an adventure to the most stunning and beautiful marine caves here in Europe. Let's go! Our adventure today starts in Cave Vasco da Gama in Portimao, Portugal. Many different cave tours are being offered in Algarve. Today, we selected the tour which will lead us to one of the most beautiful natural wonders. The tour begins right after a few safety instructions. On the way to the caves, you will enjoy the stunning views of the cliff coast, as well as the mighty rock formation. The rock of the caves are more than a century old, and this can be seen in the unusual and yet beautiful formation. The tour lasts for about 2 hours and you are taken to 30 different caves and grottos. The tour includes the viewing of a fishing village, diverse landscapes, and also abandoned beaches. Our tour is accompanied by an experienced captain who shows and explains all sites and important cultural scenic points. It is advisable to make a tour with a smaller boat in order to be able to experience the smaller caves. The absolute highlight of the tour is the famous Benajel Cave. It's one of the popular sites in the Algarve. The cave is located at the Praia de Benajel beach and is only accessible by a small boat. The ideal time to go to the cave is when the tide is low, because the boats are able to penetrate much deeper into the cave. The rock formations, which were carved by nature with the opening in the ceiling, is absolutely breathtaking. During daytime, the light shines through the opening and makes the cave shine in gold. I hope you enjoyed our cave tour here in Algarve, Portugal today. I'm Jay Tomas and I'm one with 25.
Thanks, Jay. I hope you enjoyed our stories and will join us again next time for more lifestyle news from continental Europe and Africa. I'm Yvonne Tomas and I am one with 25.
Hi, I'm Kyle Macalino bringing you sports and technology news. For the first time in 60 years, Italy was eliminated from World Cup, which will take place in Russia next year. According to Italian football boss Carlo Tavecchio, missing the final was his worst fear. Italy will not get to take part in next year's finals after losing to Sweden 1-0 on aggregate in their two-leg playoff. The result is a disaster for the Italian national team, who won the World Cup on 4 occasions already. The Azzurri went into the game knowing they must score at least once to stay in contention after a goal from Jakob Johansson on their first match. Italy was strong and had plenty of chances, but they did not convert any of them. For goalkeeper Gianluigi Buffon, it was a tearful evening, as this was his last game for the Italian national team after playing 175 games in 20 years. The legendary keeper played a key role in Italy's World Cup victory in 2006. Buffon said, "Time goes by, it's cruel, but that's how it is." Gianpiero Ventura, Italy's team coach, was planning on talking with the Italian Football Association, but had to recently step down. 2 years after Volkswagen's emissions scandal, Germany's financial watchdog is investigating whether the company is illegally hiding information from third parties regarding what really happened. Volkswagen is already subject of probe because of suspected insider trading to its Dieselgate scandal and market manipulation. To boost investors' hope for compensation, a German court decided to appoint an independent auditor to investigate Volkswagen cheating of US diesel engine tests. Europe's largest car maker did not admit that 11 million vehicles worldwide were equipped with emissions cheating software until September 2015. Volkswagen did not comment on the latest investigation, but stated that its management board duly fulfilled its liabilities about capital market disclosure. That was it from this episode's Sports and Technology News. I am Kyle Macalino and I am one with 25.
That is today's Eagle News International Switzerland edition. Join us again next time as we bring news that matters to you.